I don't think Kawhi is going anywhere, and I'll tell you why. Because in order to leave San Antonio, he's going to have to give up tens of millions of dollars. It's not a couple bucks here or there. It's 10. Now, whether you can make that back in a more lucrative endorsement deal if you're in a bigger market, I don't know. But on the table will be, because it's not just that you get an extra guaranteed year, you also get more money each year. It's the reason the NBA sets the rules up this way in the CBA, so that in that negotiation, the league wants players to not move around so much. Home teams, small markets can retain their stars, and that's a huge incentive for Kawhi. There's another incentive, and I want to be very clear about this. Kawhi Leonard's one of the best players I've ever seen. He's an incredibly great and underrated player. So I'm not down on Kawhi when I say this, any more than I'm down on Tom Brady when I credit Belichick. Tom Brady would have been a great player no matter what. The fact that he had Belichick made him the greatest quarterback of all time. Belichick, in other words, is the reason for that, even though Brady would have been great without him. Same thing here with Kawhi and Popovich. Kawhi was going to be excellent no matter where he was. I believe he's the best version of himself because he is playing for the best coach, period. And I don't know that you want to leave that. Whatever pressures Uncle's putting on, however curious he may be what he can do without Popovich, if he was more assertive, Stephen A., if his usage rate even went up and he took more chances on offense and was a little less responsible all the time, maybe yes, but I think that's outweighed by the knowledge that what he has is so excellent there. I would say one dark horse in terms of signing Kawhi. If the Los Angeles Lakers, he's from that area, if the Lakers were able to sign Paul George, and they have Kuzma and Paul George, and Ingram continues to improve, and Lonzo turns out to be the goods, and all that stuff. And they, at that point, L.A. will become extremely attractive, I think, to Kawhi or his uncle or whomever. But barring something like that, I don't think Kawhi is going anywhere.
Where do you think he could go, Jalen?
I agree with Max. If he was to decide to leave, it probably would be to his hometown team. But also for Kawhi, it's a unique situation, guys, because he had so much success as a young player, as Max attributed to the San Antonio Spurs way. But I want to part ways with you on that one, Max, as it relates to Belichick and Brady, as it relates to Pop and Kawhi. That's the equivalent of saying somebody's done really good in life or really good in their career, but you want to separate the fact that they had good parents. You can't do that. They go hand in hand. Because, by the way, Belichick has not had the success without Tom Brady. However, Pop has had success without Kawhi. So those are kind of two different situations. But when you see Kawhi, he would have to take a $40 million haircut for that fifth year. And that is a ton of money. And personally, I wouldn't walk away from it. I would sign the deal. And if I was unhappy, then I would worry about it. I would sign on the dotted line. But this is probably why you see other things taking place, like him not agreeing to his Brand Jordan deal. And there are a lot of people talking about what his worth is in that market. I believe, from what I see players getting from shoe deals, Kawhi Leonard at $5 million would be a bargain. I understand why he didn't agree to that deal. So based on what you're saying, now let's connect the dots. You want to get more money via your endorsements because you understand that you may lose a bit of your money on your contract initially. Just putting that out there.
Well, let me say this also. When you hear about Kawhi Leonard and possible destinations, the number one city you hear about is L.A. I just think we need to be careful about constantly mentioning the Lakers. And I'm not talking about Kawhi here and right now. I'm talking about the L.A. market. Everybody is under this assumption that because the Lakers have room for two max players, you know what? Everything is about Magic Johnson and the Lakers. There is an individual in town whose name is Jerry West, who is a consultant for the Los Angeles Clippers, but is basically running basketball operations. I don't give a damn what anybody says. He is hell-bent on competing with Magic Johnson. He is hell-bent on competing with the Los Angeles Lakers. And if you look at some of the moves that they have made, essentially what you're talking about, building supplementary pieces to set the stage for a star to ultimately arrive in Los Angeles, but not necessarily for the Lakers. I believe in the purple and gold. I believe in Magic Johnson, but I do think it's important, Jalen, and I think you would agree with this. Jerry West is coming, and Jerry West is trying to make sure he is competing with the Los Angeles Lakers. And everybody in the NBA, everybody in the NBA has been put on notice in that regard. Don't assume everything LA is just about the Lakers.
I agree with you, Stephen A., but that's also going to be a show me. And in the era where we're talking about players leaving a team that drafted them and joining super teams, i.e. KD, where he had success. We should probably also be applauding guys like Dame Lillard and Anthony Davis, who got drafted by teams. Were you ready for this,
That's right.
Max? Re-signed with those teams, didn't have to worry about going to the large market, and now all of a sudden are having success with those teams.